What up, guys? Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Today, we're doing something a little simple, but it's gonna save you some money and give you some cool factor. What that thing is here is Sandy's original timing cover from '78. As you see, it's pretty dull, not shiny, impressive at all aluminum. And I have started. Look how shiny I'm starting to get it. And that is what we are going to attack today. Now, while as far as I'm concerned, I'm mostly done with this. I have some spots I'm definitely going to address. That's what we're going to do here on the channel today. Primarily, I want to get in right here where it's just some ugly castings, and I have not managed to shine it up, not one bit. But as always, I'm broke, and I'm trying to show you guys, or at least influence you, to be out in the garage making progress. And in all honesty, if I had money and was able to be trucking along making progress, I may have overlooked something so small. I've always wanted like a nice polished timing cover for the truck, and you can buy them for like, they kind of vary, like 60 to like 200 bucks. But the way they shine is almost like too new for me. This thing is, I mean, it's about 50 years old, so I guess I'll consider it vintage at this point. I like the way that it is shining up much more than the new fancy pants pieces you can get. So that's the route that I'm going. And thus far, I have done it. I started off with my Dremel tool. I burned through a bunch of those cheap cotton Harbor Freight bits you can get. I am getting ready to switch to these guys. And I did cough up the money to get myself a $3 buffer wheel here. And that's what we're going to use. But I do want to hit this thing with some sandpaper, because you can really get in there or not. It's pretty rough and corroded. And thus far I have, and again, when I started this, I was literally just using my Dremel tool, and it was taking forever. I was also going at it with some Neverdol and some other random just waxes. In all honesty, the wax was actually like, it was, to me, it was pulling shine out of it. I just didn't like the route that I was going. What I ended up using was just this stuff from the RV industry that I used to work in, and I've used nothing but this and this wheel to go from basically this to this. So when we are done, I would like all of it to shine like this part right here. But first, I'm gonna attack this little rust spot right here. And you know, at the end of the day, I have $0 on my timing cover. I already had it. I have, I think, $3 in this buffing wheel, and I think these may have been $3. So for $6, some buffing compound I already had. I'm only $6 into having a nice shiny timing cover, and I really feel like it's gonna accent everything nice. I don't know what valve covers and such I'm going to use yet. I don't think I'm going to reuse these, but you know, with my polished aluminum Holley fuel pump, it's just going to be a nice accent. Hi, Midas. What are you doing, friend? Anyways, let's get to work. So I think what I'm going to start off with is I have some 180 here, and I believe this was 320. I don't know that I have anything lighter than, those are 400. What else I got in here? There's a 600. Oh yeah, we got all kinds of stuff in here. But yeah, look, I didn't even know I had any glazing putty. I need that. But yeah, I'm just gonna attack this spot right here. I'll get a good little look at her, and we will see what she looks like here in just a minute with a little bit of elbow grease. Alright guys, so here's about what maybe 5 minutes of work will get you. Just kind of knock down here a little bit. Knock down those edges just a little bit. Again, I'm not going for like a showpiece or a masterpiece here. I just want it to shine and the castings to be less unpleasant to look at. But again, you know, be careful. This is aluminum. It's soft. If you stay, especially like on your mounting surfaces here, just be careful you don't warp it, give it a low spot, because then, you know, this thing's responsible for sealing both oil and water in and out of your engine, however you want to say it. So be careful. Make sure whatever you do, you keep this surface and this surface flat. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's just not perfect, but significantly better. And that was just a couple minutes of sanding on it with just some 180 grit. I'm going to come back and hit it with the lighter abrasives here in just a minute. But another thing I want to attack is, if you look, can I get you in there? You really can't see it. You can kind of see it. The castings in there are just garbage. I don't think that that's necessarily going to improve anything. Maybe it will, just knocking down those rough castings a little bit. Can a flashlight get you in there? Oh yeah. So you can see this sharp edge, and where it looks like they pretty much, after they cast this, they just run a drill bit in here. And it just leaves a harsh, sharp edge in there. I'm just going to try and knock that down. And, you know, anything and everything you can do to improve, you know, oil flow, oil drainage, coolant flow, it's going to be an improvement of a sort, right? I dug in there just a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to port this necessarily for a larger flow. I just want to knock those ugly ridges out of there, hoping that maybe it'll make any sort of difference. But I do have a extra gasket here, and it looks like, I know I just said that I'm not technically porting. If I can do this one-handed, dang it. You line this up. It looks like, at least on this lower edge, I could knock down that lip just a little bit and actually get maybe a little bit of extra flow out of that side. So I may do that. This side looks like it lines up quite well. Again, I don't know this is going to benefit me at all. I just hate how ugly that looks in there. Again, this is aluminum, so be very careful. It's going to eat into it relatively fast. And again, I'm not going for a port and polish job. It's not like this is actually going to create any horsepower. I'll probably never even notice even a single temperature or a single degree difference in this, but I'll know that I did it. Gasket here, making sure I'm not taking off any more than I should. I'm gonna take off just a little bit smidgen right here, and then pretty much gonna call this set done. Boom. Now for a whopping maybe 45 seconds of work. Look how much better that gasket fits. There's no sharp edge that was once sticking up and blocking just a little bit of flow, and those sharp edges that were in there are now gone. That's all I'm going for. Knock out this bridge and this other side real quick. Alright guys, so check that out. For literally maybe 2 minutes of work, just knock those edges down. This port matches the gasket better. And same thing over here. There was just some sharp edges in there. If I wanted to, I could get a little bit more aggressive. Like I said, I just wanted to knock down those super rough casting marks that were in there. Like I said, we now match up much better on this side. And I did round this just a little bit. Those holes. In all honesty, I probably could take just a smidgen off that back edge here. I probably will. Alright, so now if you look at this, I'm having a hard time lining everything up and holding the camera. But now, my ports on my gasket actually match my ports on my water pump. There's nothing in there to disrupt flow. Again, probably never notice it. Obviously, it's not a horsepower improvement, so you're never going to feel it. But I'll know that I took the extra effort to make sure this thing was flowing water well. But now we got distracted. Let's jump back over here. Again, you can see just maybe it was one song, so maybe 4 minutes of just hitting this. Knocked it down a little bit. I'm gonna hit it with some, I think I had what, 600, and then we're gonna get to polishing. Honestly, guys, I just hit it with some, what, 400. I think that's about all the effort I'm gonna take in this specific area. In all honesty, I was for the most part done with this, and I got to thinking I was shorting myself out of an episode. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? But you're not, by the time the water pump is on here, you're really not even going to see any of this, and especially once the dampener's on there. But I'll know that I took the effort to do it. And as always, it's influencing you guys to be out in the garage, staying busy, doing things that you want to do, despite the fact that you don't have any money. So just go do cool stuff. But let's try and buff that up. I want to try and get in here a little better. Again, you're not going to see any of this, but I'll know that I did it. I would like to get in here a little better. In here a little better if I can. This is just sitting down here enough that you really can't get to it, but we'll see what we can do. Look at that difference already, guys. So I literally just took my little cheap $3 polishing wheel from Harbor Freight on my Dremel tool there, and one song, so maybe what, 3 minutes I buzzed in there. And again, I want to hit in here a little bit. There are some tighter places that again you're never going to see, but I do want to get in there and get in there. So when we come back, I'll probably have this thing done. I'm not going to drag it long because it's just going to be me crunched over, going to town on this and put it on here. But the advice I will give you is, I would say, a medium to heavy pressure and just kind of slow movements, and you can literally just watch the shit shine right up. So you're really not going to hurt it. You're just polishing it. So when I come back, this thing will be as shiny as I intend on getting it. Hey, what you know about that? Again, that little area I was showing you, I didn't put a whole lot of effort into. You're not going to see it. I was just showing you how very little effort it actually takes to bring out the shine in these old timing covers, especially, you know, look at the top. I did put a lot of effort into the top where I could reach, but let's go put it on the engine. Boom. Look at that, guys. Like, seriously, look at that difference. I mean, when this thing started out, it looked like this, and now we have this. You gotta move, Mr. Midas. You were super in the way. I know you don't feel good. I know. But like I said, we went from dirty nastiness, just like your mom, to fresh hotness, like the girl you actually want. And yes, I'm accusing you of potentially sleeping with your own mom. But dude, look at that. I have maybe, like I said, I think $6, and let's say at most 2 hours of my time in this. And if I wanted to, I could put a lot more time into this. You can see there's some nooks and crannies. There's still some like wax boogers and residue I need to clean up. But I mean, that's the part we hit just real quick. I mean, I have maybe 5 minutes just in that corner right there. And look at the dramatic difference that it made. It's just huge. Cleaned up our water jackets, just a smidgen. And look at that. Like, there's a difference in that shine. But this is like a professionally machined, whatever process they use at Holley to shine this versus something I did with a $3 Harbor Freight buffing wheel. So, I'm really happy with that. That's going to look really nice. I have no idea what color I'm painting the engine. I don't know that I'm going to go all baby blue again. Maybe if I decide to paint the heads. I am excited about my aluminum heads, but I'm not excited that they're aluminum, if that makes any sense. They just, I don't know. I liked my baby blue engine. I feel like having a blue block, potentially blue valve covers, is going to make those look weird. I'm not opposed to painting them. But, yeah, this isn't about the heads. This is about taking a little bit of extra effort, working with what you got, and making it look nice. I need to get in here. There's still some spots that I need to clean up, get some of the boogers and wax out of. But At this point, I am super stoked with the way that turned out. That's gonna look really nice. That's about all I got for you in this episode, guys. As always, or here recently anyways, there is a link in the description below to the Buy Me a Coffee. If you want to help me stop being poor, it's a whopping $5. Every single penny of that will go back into this chaos. And otherwise, like, subscribe, share, and thanks for tuning in. Sorry for the short episode, but it's what I got. It's better than nothing. I am working on something that's actually taking a lot of work to do. So stay tuned.